Hey everyone, Miss GoElectric here. This mysterious box with no labels contains a never-before-reviewed Troxus Explorer. This is the very bike that will appear in commercials when this model is released. I can't wait a minute more to get this bike built and out on the trails.
As I mentioned, this bike was already built and disassembled, so the packaging you see here won't be the same as a new purchase.
All right, in order to get this fender out, I'm gonna have to take this seat off. This is a nice wide saddle, so looking good already. Looks like we have some metal fenders, so this is gonna do probably a really good job of keeping me clean. So this is a fat tire e-bike. It has Kenda 26-inch by 4-inch tires. This is gonna be great for the trails. All right, it's time to lift this bike out.
The Troxus Explorer has an aluminum frame, but it's still a heavy e-bike, weighing in at 91.5 pounds.
We have a multi-tool that's branded, the keys for the battery, the charger, and the pedals. This is a 3-amp charger, and the battery is a Samsung 48-volt, 20-amp-hour battery, so it should take about 6 to 7 hours to fully charge it. First things first, I want to get the battery out and start charging it so I can ride this immediately. It's a really beautiful blue finish on this bike. And the welds are very nice and buffed out.
The Explorer is offered in a step-over or step-through design. For initial launch colors, you'll find the step-over version with blue and black paint finishes, and the step-through available in red and black. This blue is not available yet.
This battery is mounted on the underside. I usually prefer one that is on top so there's easier access to pull it in and out, but all you have to do is insert the key here. There's a secondary mechanism underneath here, so once you unlock it, then you just twist and it will release the battery. Ooh, it's a heavy one. All right, now it's time to mount the handlebars, get the wheel on, and put on my pedals. Now this wheel doesn't have a quick release, and this multi-tool that they gave me doesn't have a wrench in order to tighten it up, so I grabbed one out of my toolbox. We'll tighten it up now. Well, first impressions, this Uding front fork looks really nice. It has a preload, a lockout, and quite a bit of travel it seems. And immediately I'm noticing these Tektro hydraulic brakes should give me great stopping power. This also has an integrated headlamp and 2 tail lamps off the rear. I think e-bikes should all have integrated lights, so this is a good bonus for me. I'm gonna throw on the pedals now, then the fender and the seat.
Troxus has dimensions listed on their website for the step-over version of the Explorer, but they do not list the rider height yet. This bike can support up to 275 pounds of payload though.
Well, now that I have the bike built, I want to share some of my first impressions. First, the quality of this paint finish and the welds is very premium. I really have never heard of this bike company before, but so far it's looking really good. This bike came with all of the things that I like to see with an e-bike to enhance the riding experience, which includes a rear rack, fenders, integrated lights. Also, I noticed that it has a mounting mechanism for a water bottle cage right through this step-through design. And that's another thing I really enjoy is step-throughs, because it makes it much easier for anyone of all age, physical abilities to be able to get on and off this bike really easily. It's time to check on the tires and inflate them as needed, adjust the brakes, and then we'll hit the trail. As I mentioned, these Kenda tires are 26 inches by 4 inches wide. They are a 5 to 30 PSI range to fill them up and inflate them. I'm gonna probably fill them up to about 10. This has a front fork, of course, but no rear suspension, so I like to have them a little bit more deflated for more cushion.
I get a lot of use out of this Fantic X8 Apex digital inflator. Just set the PSI level you want and it turns off automatically when it hits it. I'll link it in the description below. Now this bike is ready to roll.
All right, let's head on to a trail to see how this bike will perform. Already I can tell I'm just in pedal assist 1 and it is giving me quite a bit of power already. This being a more powerful hub motor, 750 watts, I can already hear the motor is a little bit noisier than some of my lower powered e-bikes. But this thing is handling these stumps and big roots very well. The seat isn't too thick with the foam, but the tires have only, I think, about 10 PSI in them, so I'm getting a lot of extra cushion from that. And the front fork is doing a good job of absorbing the bumps as well. So far, what I'm seeing, just being in pedal assist 1, the power delivery is nice and responsive. It's within 1 rotation of the wheel, and it stops fairly quickly as well. I like a more precise motor output and power delivery. A trail like this is a little bit tight, so you want to be careful. You don't want to put too much power into your bike, because when you're coming around tight corners like this, you might give it too much. That might cause you to bump into a tree, or if you can't see somebody, run into one pedestrian. I'm on pedal assist 2 and it has a lot of pick up and go just in these lower end pedal assist modes. And I will say that there so far is a pretty big difference between the pedal assist modes. Get up to pedal assist 3 now. Ooh, that is spicy. I think for a trail like this, that might be a little bit too much power. It's kind of tight in here, but ooh, this is gonna be really fun once I get out on a paved path. I like the fact that it has an 8-speed Shimano Acera gear set, because that means when I'm going those higher speeds, my pedaling isn't gonna be just a constant rotation of my feet. I'm gonna have some resistance, and having more gears with faster bikes like this really helps. This would be a great bike to take out in any kind of conditions and really dirty it up. As you can see, it's handling these giant roots very well with the suspension. It's a very comfortable bike. One thing I am noticing though is after a while, these grips, they don't have that paddle shape on the end of them like some of my other e-bikes. And I really like that, because I find the pressure of my palms on the grips sometimes becomes uncomfortable. It's a little bit of a pain point.
But I'm reaching for criticism here. Handlebar grips can be swapped out to your preference. After soaking up some beautiful late summer pure Michigan views, I decided to head to a more wide open location to test out the Troxus Explorer at higher speeds on pavement.
All right, I found myself a paved path, so I'm gonna do more pedal assist testing and a full throttle test. So first, let's start off with the pedal assist. I'm in pedal assist 1 right now, and it's a very responsive motor. So it pushes to give me power pretty immediately, as you can see. And I'm hitting about 12 miles per hour, so pretty good for pedal assist 1. Let's take it up to pedal assist 2. You can definitely hear the motor much noisier in pedal assist 2. Not giving me too much more power. Going downhill a little bit here. And I've bumped up my shift point up to about the 4th gear here. Going up these little hills with ease though, in pedal assist 2. This is a very good amount of power. Probably what I would ride in most often, just because it's enough power and I would want to try to extend my range as much as possible, so keeping it balanced. All right, let's go pedal assist 3. It gives me a major push of power. As you can see there, I'm going up a hill. This is like no effort at all. Wow. It's definitely less than a full rotation of pedaling in order to get that power, so, and it is giving me a lot. All right, I'm gonna try to pedal a little bit harder to see how quick I can get in the 3rd pedal assist. All right, let's take it up to pedal assist 4 now. Wow, holy smokes. That's incredible. I am getting a huge boost of power, exceptional ease coming through this hill here. About 20, 21 miles per hour in pedal assist 4. Really easy to go up and through these hills. Let's move it up to 5. Wow. Holy smokes. That is an incredible burst of power in pedal assist 5. Real easy. I can get up to 28 miles per hour. If I'm going downhill, I could see me even kissing 29, 30. Coming around this corner here. More flat surface. Let's see what we got. Bump down my... Holy smokes. I would probably only use pedal assist 5 if I have to keep up with traffic, because that's like an insane amount of power and it's really, really fast. Almost like it's not safe, to be honest. Wow, this is exceptional power. And I barely have to pedal in order to get more. I can really easily get up to at least 28 miles per hour. Coming around straight away, pedal assist 5, 30 miles an hour. And I'm only at the 2nd shift point, but my legs feel like there's plenty of resistance. It feels comfortable. All right, I think this is a good stopping point for me to do the throttle, full throttle test. As you can see, this is a thumb throttle on the left side. So I'm not gonna pedal at all, and I'm gonna put the throttle down and see what the top speed will be in this mode and how responsive it is. Well, there we go. I can definitely feel that the throttle is limited to 20 miles per hour, and it gets up to speed really fast. So the good thing about this bike is that it has exceptional, this is probably the most powerful bike that I have reviewed. In terms of its power delivery, it is pushing and constantly just wanting to give me more, especially when I'm pedaling. But I would highly recommend not using the pedal assist 4 or 5 when you're on trails. Use it only for when you're in a city scenario on a paved path that's a straightaway, because even turning at those speeds, it's not that comfortable. You feel like you really do have to slow down. Well, I had a fun day on the Troxus Explorer. Let's sum up what I liked and what could be improved. First, let's point out the obvious. This 750 watt motor is a lot of power, and it's very responsive. I like that the power delivery is near immediate. I don't have to pedal a full rotation in order to get the power. Although this seat doesn't look like it has a lot of thick foam, the front suspension and the fat tires, when they have a little bit less air in them, are a perfect mix, so I don't feel the need for a rear suspension. This bike is considerably heavy because the battery is so big, and I like that for it being a long-range model, but it is pretty heavy. I also would like to see the battery mounted up on the top so it's easier to get out since it is pretty heavy. I don't like having to move the wheel around and finagle these few mechanisms in order to get it out. But that being said, there are some benefits to it being mounted underneath, and that is, for one, I can just plug it in down here so I don't have to take the battery out, but also there's a water bottle cage mount right here, and other e-bikes in this category that I've reviewed don't have that. The display here is very simple and utilitarian. It's not very feature rich and there's no app integration, but to be honest, that's fine because this is a very utilitarian bike. The Explorer allows me to do exactly what the name says, explore, because you can take this bike pretty much anywhere. The versatility is outstanding. The tires are nice and thick and knobby and are a great tread to be able to take out on the mud, sand, snow, any kind of conditions. I love the fact that this bike can go anywhere. If you think you want to buy a Troxus Explorer, please see the link in the description below. If Troxus sees that we're helping their customers find the right bike for them, they'll support the Miss GoElectric channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing if you enjoyed it. Until next time, drive, fly, ride. GoElectric.